When I first moved into the neighborhood, I thought it would be a fresh start. My wife, Claire, had passed away the year before, and I was a broken man trying to put the pieces of my life back together. The new house was small, but it had a front yard, something Claire always dreamed of. She used to say, "A home without a garden is just a building. But a garden makes it alive." So I began planting. Not roses, not trimmed hedges, not the neat little shrubs the HOA demanded. No, I planted the flowers Claire loved, wildflowers. Bright, messy, colorful bursts of life. Every stem I planted, every seed I pushed into the soil, felt like I was keeping her memory alive. At first, neighbors smiled politely, but soon their comments turned sharper. "Your yard looks unkempt. Are you planning to clean this up?" The HOA sent notices about violations because my flowers weren't uniform, my lawn wasn't trimmed to exactly 3 inches, and my vines had dared to climb the mailbox. Then came the fine. $5,000. For an ugly garden. I remember holding the letter in my hands, my chest tightening like a vice. $5,000 wasn't just money, it was half my savings. I sat on the porch, staring at the flowers, thinking of Claire. My neighbors passed by, whispering. Some even smirked. That night, I almost ripped every flower from the ground, just to stop the humiliation. But something inside me whispered, "Don't. This isn't just a garden." It's her. The very next morning, a city vehicle pulled up in front of my house. Out stepped a woman with a clipboard, her eyes scanning my yard. My heart sank. Great. Now the city's here to tear it all down. But instead, she smiled. "Sir, do you realize what you've cultivated here?" Confused, I shook my head. She explained that my garden wasn't just wildflowers, it was a rare preservation of native plants that had nearly disappeared from the region. Some of them, she said, were endangered species that hadn't been documented in years. I blinked at her, stunned. She continued, "This isn't just a garden. This is a living historic site." By afternoon, city officials arrived. Cameras were set up. Reporters stood on my lawn, asking questions. And then came the bombshell: my garden was officially recognized as a historic landmark. Value: $500,000. Neighbors who once sneered stood frozen at their windows, watching as my so-called ugly garden made headlines. The HOA board showed up red-faced, stammering apologies, but I didn't need them anymore. My garden wasn't just validated, it was protected by law. I sat on the porch again that evening, looking at the flowers swaying in the breeze. For the first time since Claire's death, I felt peace. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about revenge. It was about love. The garden wasn't ugly. It was alive, just like Claire had always wanted. And in that moment, I realized something: sometimes the very thing the world rejects is the very thing it needs most.